Good morning. Happy Sunday, Fun Day. I'm McKinzie Roth. It is week 9 of the NFL season. No Colts game today, but there are still plenty of ways to make money, and we're going to do it right here today on All Indiana Bets.
I'm Jason Hammer. The Colts have already won this weekend, so now we can just focus on making as much money as we can. Let's go, baby.
Woo!
Hey everyone, I am Scott Long, and if you were watching yesterday, we were 7 wins, 3 losses, and today let's do it again.
Let's go.
Right here, right now. Woo!
This is All Indiana Bets, presented for the people, powered by Caesars Sportsbook and Lunazul Tequila. Feed the wolf.
It's amazing to me. Jason Hammer already has hit the bar before the show has begun.
This is going to be the greatest day of our lives today.
If
you don't think today isn't going to be the greatest day of your life, then you're watching the wrong show.
That's right.
Colts have already won.
Yeah.
We got a full day of football where we can just watch, we can just bet, and we're going to have a good time doing it.
We are going to have a fantastic time. We're happy that you're with us. Sunday edition of All Indiana Bets. Now, guys, it's hard to believe, but after today, we will officially be past the halfway point of the NFL regular season. Isn't that wild? So
I believe it was Thomas Jefferson who once said, and I quote, "Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa-ho, living on a prayer."
Yeah.
That was an exact quote in the history books.
That's a Beach Grove High School education right there.
As we mentioned earlier, as I just did, the Colts have this weekend off, but after a Thursday night's 45-30 win over the New York Jets, the Horseshoe now own a 4-5 record with 8 games left to play. Now, their season win total currently sits at 8.5. So, Hammer, we're going to start with you looking at the Colts' remaining schedule. Do you like the over or the under on 8.5 wins?
Yeah, you look at the next 5 games here, and you got some penciled-in wins, but you got some tough matchups right there. Back-to-back Buffalo and Tampa Bay. I like the Colts over for this very reason. If you've watched football long enough to know, you're always going to win some games that you shouldn't and probably lose some games you should have won. The Colts have already lost the games they should have won. You put that Ravens game in that category.
Right.
Maybe the Tennessee Titans game in that category. Maybe even Seattle. So the Colts, to make this up, they're going to have to beat some teams you probably wouldn't expect them to beat, but this is how the NFL works. And 8.5 right there, that's not that big of a number when you've got quite possibly the guy that's going to end up leading the league in rushing.
Scott, what do you think about this?
That is tight. It is a tightrope. We put ourselves, and I say we because I bet on the Colts last week.
You're vested in.
Yeah, and man, that was scary.
That was a wild ride, right?
That was almost the worst bad beat of the NFL season this year. I would just tell you, I wouldn't put any money on them passing 8.5. It really comes down to the Tampa and the Buffalo game.
Right.
Those
You
are the
got to
two
get one of
games.
them.
You got to get one of them. And I would guess I would lean towards us having a chance against Tampa. I could see Tampa resting starters and things like that. Buffalo's, I don't see them being a pass on any game this year. They're going to be a favorite by quite a bit, I think, the rest of this season.
But if you can run the ball on Buffalo,
Yeah.
which the Colts can run the ball, if Frank allows them to run the ball,
Oh, we need to talk
you
about
can control
that.
the clock.
We do need. We're going to be talking about Jonathan Taylor later on in this show.
Okay, we'll definitely touch on that because I know you feel very strongly, both of you guys, about
Absolutely.
that. Well, those are our thoughts on the Colts, first and foremost. But since it's kind of a mini bye week, plus we're over halfway through the season now, we thought this would be a really good time to get your thoughts on where things currently stand with the Colts. So on Friday, we sent Mr. Scott Long out to the streets to do just that.
Good luck. Scott Long here. I host the All Indiana Bets. I'm sure you haven't seen this. What are you doing right now?
I'm getting my senior photos done.
What do you think about the Colts season this far?
I actually don't know much on the Colts at all.
That's what's awesome about our show. We don't expect that from our guests. Are you betting next week the Colts will cover the spread?
You know what? If you think so, I think so too.
Best guess we've had so far. Do you bet on life?
Yes.
You're a real daredevil.
Yeah, we try to be. We'll always try to get like up on roofs and do some cool roof shots.
How's your feelings about the Colts so far this season?
Right now, they need pass protection. They need to gel with each other. We got good running backs, you know. Our quarterback, he was suspect in the beginning, but I think he's going to pan out.
A lot of foot and ankle injuries with the team. You know who they should talk to? The shoe doctor, right? How many wins do you think we get this year?
I expect we'll probably get probably 10.
10, that's very optimistic.
We'll make the playoffs.
Playoffs, you heard John, the shoe doctor. You don't have to watch anybody else but all Indiana bets to get the biggest experts. Thank you, John. Who will have a better record, Bengals or Colts at the end of the season?
I mean, that's kind of a foolish question, but I mean, the Bengals are on fire right now. The Jets was a little hiccup. We're going to finish the season 12, 13 wins.
I think you're wrong. My co-host calls the Bengals a fraud, and people from...
Carson Wentz is a fraud.
Okay, there we go. There's fighting words. He's a guest on our station. Get out of here. Go back to Cincinnati. No one wanted you. Thank you. What's your thoughts on the Colts season this year?
They're trash.
Wow.
Is that baseball or football?
There we go. And finally, some experts much better than that Bengals guy. Thank you again. I hope you've been loving this show.
That was an awesome
Wait
man
a
on the
minute.
street.
Hold on.
Wow.
How all of a sudden am I the bad guy here because I call the Bengals frauds? They lost to the Jets. And then you saw Captain Redbeard there talking about how Carson Wentz is trash in Cincinnati. Well, guess what, Skippy? Carson Wentz beat the New York Jets, something your fraud still didn't do.
That's right. I like how you sent him home. You're like, get out of here.
Yeah, you know what? Cincinnati is good for a lot of things, not football or chili. I'm just going to put that out there right now. Also, I want to share, I was hoping they wouldn't show that because
Let me cross off Skyline Chili from potential sponsors of this show.
Those are fighting words. People feel very strongly
I
about
don't care
that.
about that. I would just tell you right now, I found it really offensive that a guy who looks like that would rip Carson Wentz when that was his doppelganger.
Right.
Exactly.
So,
That was Darcy Wentz right there. His long-lost brother.
That
I
was
never
wild.
find any actual football fans when I walk the monument. It's like crazy. I'm like, I met like 30 people.
It's fun. I enjoyed it. I thoroughly
Thank
enjoyed it.
you.
I also enjoy picks. I enjoy making money, so let's get to them. Let's do our first picks. Who wants to kick us off? Scott? I'm volunteering you.
Okay, so
You've been voluntold,
Yes.
Scott. Go ahead.
Do it.
let me.
do it.
But I like to put it on when I do this.
This is his
here we
flash,
go.
like his reader.
Here we go.
Can
It's like from Clark Kent to Superman right there. You can't tell the difference.
Can you believe that I'm actually making this pick? I am taking the Packers. Oh, is it because of Jordan Love? No, I don't know what he can do. I've watched him in preseason. I was not impressed. It really is a massive fade of the Chiefs, who has been kind of my team that's been killing me this year. After the Giants game last time, I'm like, I can't bet on this team anymore. All of a sudden, I get +7 with a good defense. They've got the receivers back because the COVID issues have not hit the receivers for this week. So I like the Packers. They're going to run the ball more. The Chiefs don't handle the run. Take the 7. I don't think the Packers are going to win, but it'll be close.
All right. Hammer, what you got?
Scott, with all due respect, and I
It's gonna be
mean
good.
with all due respect, you have no idea what you're talking about. Look at that record. If you had been taking my picks every single game, you would have so much money, you'd be sitting on a beach somewhere right now. 22-16 against the spread, and that's coming off of a dumpster fire week last week.
That's true.
I'm still ahead. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to flip the script, and I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs laying the 7. There's no team in the league where if you take one player away, it matters more than the Green Bay Packers.
True.
Aaron Rodgers will not be there today. Jordan Love. Have fun making a big high-profile start on the road against a very desperate Kansas City Chiefs team. Yes, the Chiefs have not looked real good lately, but does anybody really believe that that offense is going to be this bad, that long, with all those weapons? Not even close. Patrick Mahomes, substantially better than what the Packers have to offer today in Jordan Love. I will lay the 7, Kansas City at home.
All right, the man has spoken.
Mackenzie,
Both of
we're
them,
making a
man.
bet on this. We have
Let's
to
go.
challenge it
Let's go.
out
Okay.
next week. If you've noticed, Kenny Rodgers last week grew his beard out, the gambler, kept it because I want to take on the Hammer, who looks like he could never get a 5 o'clock shadow
I'm
after
a
5
wholesome,
months.
all-American young man.
I will
Teenage
shave.
girls have this poster hanging up in their room.
I will shave this off on the show if I lose. he has to grow a beard or try
I like that.
next week. So there you go.
So either you're growing or you're shaving.
Yes.
This is weird. I got a note in the dressing room. It's like, Kinsey, how do you feel about shaving? But I feel like you could do your own.
Sunday.
I'm not saying a word.
Next Sunday.
Not going to do it. Not going to fall for that trap.
Time for a break. We have a very special guest coming up on the other side. Injury expert Will Carroll is going to break down the Derrick Henry injury, and the guys will tell you what it could mean for the Colts running back, Jonathan Taylor. It's all coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
All Indiana Bats is presented by Lunazul Tequila. Feed the Wolf.
Really excited to bring in my friend Will Carroll, 20-year injury expert. He's going to break down the Derrick Henry issues and tell us what's happening with Derrick.
Yeah, Derrick has what's called a Jones fracture, and I'll use my hand here because I'm not flexible enough to get my foot on screen. Basically, what he did was broke the outside bone, the fifth metatarsal on his foot. With all that size, with all that speed, his foot just stuck and something had to give. It was his bone. Now, they fixed that with a simple screw. They'll just run a screw in there. We've seen this kind of injury before in a lot of players. Julio Jones had it. You could remember Ahmad Bradshaw back when he was with the Colts in 2013, had it not once but twice. So it's a very simple thing. The problem is it takes about 8 to 10 weeks to heal up, and there's really only about 8 to 10 weeks left in the season. That's a big rough patch for the Titans. And I think that Ryan Tannehill is going to have to pass more. He obviously can't turn around and hand it to King Henry. So I think the over is the way to go coming off this Derrick Henry injury in their Rams game this week.
All right, our thanks to injury expert Will Carroll for the insight on the foot fracture suffered by Titans running back Derrick Henry. So with Henry out, Colts star Jonathan Taylor, we've been talking about this, is now the odds-on favorite to lead the NFL in rushing this season. You can see where things currently stand. Despite the near 300-yard gap between him and everyone else, you can still get Taylor at -120 to win the league's rushing title. So Scott, what do you think? Is this worth a play? What would you say?
You got to wait out this week because we're one game ahead. So
Right.
if somebody runs up 200 that's close, then you got to worry about it. He probably won't be -120. I would lean towards it. It seems crazy that's 300 yards. You could be that. But we all know, Hammer knows, what could be the problem with Jonathan Taylor still not leading the league in rushing.
I'll tell you what the problem is. The old Franken monster, the old Frankenberry, Frank Reich won't give him the rock.
Yeah.
It's by far and away, it's obvious that he's the best player on the Colts team offensively. It's not even close. There's not been one game where he's had 20 carries yet. Not a single game. And look what this guy does. He makes people miss. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. I don't think I'm going over the top when I say it kind of reminds me a little bit of the way Edger and James used to play. He's healthy. He's never had injury problems. I'm not saying you have to give him the ball 30 times a game and wear him out the way Titans did Derrick Henry, but give the guy 20 carries a game. If you do that, if you did that, you would have beaten the Titans. You would probably have beaten the Ravens.
Yes.
You'd have a couple more wins, and we wouldn't be sweating a wild card spot.
Yes!
All right, you guys, I want to make some more money. How about
Yes!
that?
Come on!
Let's
That
go.
was right.
Let's go.
Finally, someone said it.
Jason Allen Hammer and I approve this
city.
message.
Come
Of course, he
on.
approves his own message. All right, let's get to some more bets, some more picks. What you got?
All right, so earlier we heard from Carson Wentz's long-lost doppelganger brother about how great the
hater.
Cincinnati Bengals are, how
Yeah.
trash Carson Wentz is. Well, you know what? This is almost a spike pick for me. I'm going to take the Browns here, +2, addition by subtraction. They got rid of Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham has been a pain in the rear end most of his career. He had one good catch on Monday Night Football, and everybody just assumed he was the next Jerry Rice. I like the Browns in this spot here. A lot of the sharp money has came in late and hammered the Browns. I'm going to take the 2 here. I'm not sold on Cincinnati. I still think they're frauds. They won't win the division. I'm hitching my wagon to the Browns today, something I thought I would never say.
Take a drink to that. I like it. I like it. Scott, what you got?
This doesn't make any sense. I know a lot of my picks never seem to make sense, but I'm over 500 in the NFL. I'm killing it in college, and I will tell you the Panthers are the play on this one. And here's why. Okay, we all know the Patriots and Belichick do wonderfully against rookie or inexperienced quarterbacks. Sam Darnold is done terrible against the Patriots. I don't think he's even going to play. and that's good to me. The Patriots are going to be flat after 2 huge games. The Panthers have a great defense, and I think they're going to give their rookie quarterback, Mac Jones, some real problems. Take the Panthers, probably play them on the money line. That is a great play for today.
It's a good pick. I like that one. Rookie quarterback going on the road against the head coach who might have a backup quarterback, game time decision, but he's coached that backup quarterback before.
That's true. That's true. Good call. I like that. All right, time for another break. Stick around, though. Scott's favorite segment, the long shot.
The long
It's his
shot.
favorite. Plus, Hammer is going to show you how to turn $5 into $60. We'll be balling on a budget. It's coming up.
Balling on a budget, old man. Get ready.
The Long Shot, presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook.
No one we'd rather be spending the Sunday fun day with than you. Hammer, this is like the second trip back to the bar.
Don't worry
Not even
about
halfway
it.
through the show.
Don't worry about it.
He's making so much money. He's like, c'est la vie. All right, we're going to get to what the people want. It's a little segment we like to call Scott's Long Shot with his long shot of the day. Scott, are you ready for this?
I think we've all been waiting for it. That have been watching the show. This is the long shot.
Yes. Which dog do you like this week?
Yeah, and that is what the long shot's about. It's about the dogs. And the Cowboys have been amazing against the spread this year. Have they lost? I don't think they've even lost against the spread.
Not against the spread.
No. All year, this is the week. You'd be like with the Broncos, they just traded Van Miller. Van Miller was doing very little. That was a good deal for the Broncos, those couple second-round picks. The Rams are just trying to find one thing to be able to beat the Cowboys in the playoffs and the Buccaneers. I like the Broncos in this spot. I kind of still feel their defense is strong, and I feel like the Cowboys, just like the Patriots, are going to be flat. I'm looking for teams that have played big games coming into a flat situation. Everybody's a pro in the NFL. Maybe not quite sure about the Texans. But what I would tell you is go with the Broncos plus the 10. They'll cover the spread. It'll probably be an 8-point game.
All right, we're going to get to balling on a budget in a second. But first, Hammer, next play for you. What
All
you got?
right, so let's talk about the Texans and the Dolphins because somebody has to. Somebody's going to win this game. You couldn't probably get me to watch this game if I didn't have a little scratch on it. So here's what we're going to do. Root for offense or maybe a couple pick sixes. That's probably how we can get a few points today. I like the over in this one. I think there's going to be turnovers. I think there's going to be field position issues. And late in the game, 46 points. Sometimes with two bad teams, it's not always an under. Sometimes bad teams realize this is our chance to win, and they give you their best shot. So we're going to go over 46 today. The Dolphins and the Texans. Tua is confident. He knows they're not going to bring in Deshaun Watson to replace him now. And the Texans get Tyrod Taylor back, who hasn't been awful despite the way the Texans have been this year. So let's go over 46 on this one.
I like it. All right, for all those ballers out there, you can be balling on a budget. For those of you who don't know what this is, it's a 4-leg parlay you can get only from Jason Hammer right here on All Indiana Bets. $5 to win you 60. Hammer,
Right.
lay it out for us.
Again, parlays are hard to hit. I've always called them sucker bets, but if you got just $5,
Here's
you
your
could
sucker.
turn it into 60.
And you have
I'll be
bragging
your
rights
sucker.
for
I'm
life.
your Huckleberry. Let's go. We like the Bills today, minus 14.5. If you want to take that down to 14 to get rid of that hook and make it a 2-score game, I'm not mad at you. I like the Kansas City Chiefs here, unlike my colleague from Iowa. Also, let's talk about the Rams. They're going to air it out today. They are going to throw the ball on that bad secondary of the Tennessee Titans. And how about the over in the Bengals and the Browns here? Look, a lot of playmakers on the field here. 47.5 isn't that big of a number. I think this is going to be a close game, and that is my pick. $5 wins you $60. Balling on a budget, baby. Let's go.
Balling on a budget. Love it. Well, we've already given you plenty of winners today, but there's still many, many more to come. Jason, Scott, they're ready to give you their best bets of the day. Your Larceny Locks coming up next.
The Larceny Lock is brought to you by Larceny Bourbon. Steal a taste.
All right, it's now time for the Larceny Lock here on All Indiana Bets. These are the best NFL bets of the week. They're going to pay you big time. Hammer, you go first.
And this is how good I feel about this pick. I've been drinking Larceny and Coke since about 11 o'clock today.
Let's go.
That's how good I feel
9:30 a.m.
about this lock.
Yeah.
McKinzie, don't give away how much I've actually been
You've
drinking.
never been to work that early. Come on now.
You have no idea what it's like to be here at 9:30.
Come on. You don't look like this. That's a studio.
I am going to go with the Rams tonight, -7.5. This is a Titans team without Derrick Henry. We're finally going to see what the Titans look like when they can't rely on that play-action pass. The Rams have a great front line defensively, and Matthew Stafford is going to air it out against a very bad secondary for the Tennessee Titans. The Rams went all in. This is their Super Bowl push. They made trade deadline deals. They're ready to go. This is their first statement game. I got Matthew Stafford and company -7.5.
All right, Scott, what you got?
There's two things at play here. I don't have any kind of like past history that's going to tell you to take the Raiders versus the Giants and things like that. What my history is that I have bet against the Raiders once this year. It was one of the two bad games they played all season. They played way over their skis, and now they face a team that I know, you won't get this on the NFL on the shows, the Giants suck, and I am tired of having to ever be on their side again. They suck. The Chiefs suck too. That game sucked.
Everybody sucks.
Look, I'm a college graduate. I was a journalism major. But I used these. I know that's a shocker.
What?
Don't tell people across the hall. I'm just going to tell you right now, the Raiders are the place. Since Gruden left, they've been playing great. I think Carr has taken over the leadership. I think it's helped his
Somebody
confidence.
needs to. Have you seen that team?
Well, I don't want to get into all those other things. I'm just going to tell you, take the Raiders. It's only 3. They are the team that will win. I give it a touchdown, even 10 points.
All right.
Not worried about all the other stuff?
No, I am not.
Okay.
Everybody sucks. All right, let's go. We're talking locks. Speaking of locks, it's your favorite time. Pop, lock, or drop it. Oh, yeah. By now, you know the deal. I give Hammer some Week 9 NFL player props, and he's going to tell us whether he's going to lock them or drop them or what you want to do.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Our first up. Okay, so we have Chiefs QB Patrick Mahomes over 291.5 passing yards versus Green Bay Packers. So I want to know, you locking or you dropping?
I am going to lock this one in.
Okay.
Again, this isn't a big number here. If you can get Patrick Mahomes under 300, you absolutely take that. And I think this is a game where they're going to try to figure out how to finally pass the ball downfield with all of these weapons. He's going to get Kelsey involved. He's going to get Hill involved. Patrick Mahomes under 300. If I had told you at the beginning of the year, any game this year would give you 291.5, would you take it? Absolutely. Go over. This is a bounce back game for Patrick Mahomes. Over. Lock it in.
Lock it in. Lock it in. All right, Rams QB, we got Matthew Stafford over 301.5 passing yards against the Tennessee Titans on Sunday Night Football. Lock or drop?
I am going to lock this one in as well. Listen, I've said it before. This is not a good Tennessee Titans secondary, and I think they're going to try to air it out tonight. The Rams, they went all in. This is their Super Bowl push. Prime time game. This is a statement game, and Matthew Stafford over 301 passing yards. Look what Carson Wentz was able to do against the Tennessee Titans. You're telling me Matthew Stafford and those weapons can't get over 301? No, not a chance. We're going over. We're locking this in.
I like it. You want to do one more?
One more.
All right,
Can I
last
just
one.
say, I would lock that one in too. I think that's the best of your plays
Lock
right
it up.
there.
Lock it up.
Lock in Stafford.
Lock it up. Okay, last one we got Browns QB Baker Mayfield to go over 237.5 passing yards versus the Cincinnati Bengals. We've been talking a lot. Lock it or drop it?
I'm going to drop this one. Now, I do think Cleveland has got a real good shot to win this game. I took them with the points here. But 237.5, we're expecting 20-mile-an-hour winds in this game. And Baker's never been a guy that puts up video game numbers. For the Browns to have success, they have to ground it out on the ground here. Grind it out a little bit. So we're going to go under 237.5. But for that very reason, for the wind, for the unknown, I'm dropping this one. This is a no play.
Hey,
All right.
keep this in mind. Baker is hurt.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
that's
could
true.
miss half this game. You don't know in case Keenan comes in, who I think is pretty much the same quarterback with Baker hurt. So keep that in mind when you do a prop, lock, or drop. don't bet on someone who's hurt.
Right. If they got a bum shoulder and they're trying to play through it, consider that a drop.
Consider it a drop. All right, it's time for another break. He's going to head to the bar once again, but stick around. We're going to play a little game that we like to call Love It or Leave It. The guys will tell you who they believe should be the front runner for NFL MVP. It's coming up next.
Great.
All right, welcome back. Like last week, we introduced you to a brand spanking new segment. It's called Love It or Leave It.
You better not wait.
Thanks, man.
I forgot my line.
You better hit bullseye. The kid don't play.
Bullseye, the kid don't play.
Ice Ice Baby, come on. How do you not know the lyrics to Ice Ice Baby?
Day call night. You know this.
You had one line. We were going to come in, we were going to recite Ice Ice Baby, and you screwed it up.
As he hands me a cocktail.
Hey, meet vanilla wafer and vanilla extract right here. All right, we got the band going.
Love it or leave it. Let's do it. How do we do it, McKenzie?
All right, this is really fun. Basically, you're going to tell me if you love it or leave it. And let me give you the first one. Well, you can explain the rules.
Okay, you're going to give us a bet that we have to decide whether we love it or we want to leave it and wait for some other sucker to pick it up.
That's right. It's pretty simple. Let's go. All right, he won't be playing this week due to COVID-19. Aaron Rodgers, still one of the favorites to take home MVP honors for a second consecutive season. Now, Rodgers currently has the fifth best odds at plus 800. Hamer, do you love the reigning MVP at that number? Or are you leaving it alone? I have a feeling I know the answer, but go.
Listen, there's no player that's more valuable to his team than Aaron Rodgers is. He went into Arizona a couple weeks ago and took practice squad receivers and beat an undefeated team on the road. But yet all season long, his odds have been way low. But now, in light of what's going on with the COVID test and the positive and whether he's vaxxed or not, there is no way the league is going to give this guy the MVP. Even if he only misses 1 week and somebody else like Brady or Kyler Murray, who might even miss today, misses a week. If all things are equal, they're going to hold that against Aaron Rodgers. So save your money here. Even though he might be the best player in the league and nobody means more, they're going to hold that against Aaron Rodgers. Save your money. Got to leave it.
What do you always say? He looks like he works what? Doing what? Where?
Well, I mean, he looks a little on the greasy side. He's not taking care of his hair. He looks like the kind of guy you would find that gets fired from a Wendy's. But that aside, he's the baddest dude in the league when it comes to slinging a football around. But all this week, Scott, I know you've taken precautions because we're talking about Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Why is he the bad guy here? There was a dude in the Raiders that killed a guy this week, and nobody's talking about that. They're talking about Aaron Rodgers and his COVID test.
Okay, I'll try to be succinct. 20 seconds that maybe I can talk. Here's what I'm trying to tell you. Every other NFL player that did not get vaccinated, immunized, not the same, sorry. The NFL said it. Follow the rules. That's a flag right there. I'm a team player. This is craziness. He doesn't deserve the NFL Player of the Year. No, not now, because he was not a team player. He's making $25 million a year. I was on his side when he said, hey, Packers, give me some players that I want to have. I was on his side because he is the most impactful player in the league. I cannot believe his talent, but that was so lousy. And I had the Packers winning 11 games this year.
That's what it's about.
That's
all that it's about.
Okay, it's about selfishness. And once again, it's about selfishness, only caring about Aaron Rodgers, not caring about his teammates, not caring about his community.
He took practice guys to a win a couple weeks ago.
And not caring about gamblers that have money on the Packers.
It's the most valuable player, not the most valuable person.
I'm gonna spritz
I don't
water
care what
on
you
you
want to
guys.
think about him as a person. He's the best quarterback in the league.
God, we don't have time to get to Mac Jones now. Old Dad Bod McGee, and you know I love him. All right, we have to go to break.
He's the rookie of the year.
He is the rookie of the year. But when we come back, we got the wise guy, Ryan Kramer. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, welcome back to All Indiana Bets. Peter Hood alongside the wise guy, Ryan Kramer, joining us as he does every week from beautiful, sunny Los Angeles. Ryan, our Colts let you down last week. We're so sorry about that here in Indianapolis. You did give out the Bills. They were able to cover against the Dolphins. What plays do you like on the board this week of the NFL?
Well, man, sometimes it's a trend I like. Sometimes it's the stats or the numbers I'm drawn to, but sometimes it's just the gut. And something I've been tracking over the last couple of years is teams looking into the bye week. And funny enough, they're actually below 500. And this year it's continuing 6-9 against the spread. Teams looking ahead to a bye. It gets even better when those teams aren't so good. So we'll start with that one. We're going to fade the Houston Texans this week. We've seen some depressed value in that line with the news of Tyrod Taylor coming back. And I got to be honest, from a gut handicapping perspective, Tua now, he has a little bit of confidence. Deshaun Watson isn't coming. And if you look at a guy who has been putting up some decent numbers, what's better than to face the Houston Texans defense, someone who has let everyone get right against them? So I expect this to be a similar Houston road game where they're going to struggle to score 14. And I think this Dolphins offense shows up. I love laying the points here as long as it's short of a touchdown. I think Tua rolls.
Yeah, typically it's been a pretty good idea to fade the Houston Texans this year. They did sneak in the back door on some people last week against the Rams, so hopefully we can avoid something like that this week. Ryan, what else jumps out at you?
Second one, since he's been a great team, they are also looking ahead to the bye. And again, this kind of brings me back to my gut. There's plenty of trends that can tell you, hey, Browns, been a good road team, 6-2 in their last 8. Hey, this is a Bengals team who just hasn't performed well against the Browns. But to me, this is gut. And Odell Beckham was a problem with this team. We saw it. Baker was never the same when Odell was out there. They were a better team without him. He's now been let go. I think there's a lot of weight off a lot of people's shoulder in that building. I expect them to play free in a situation where they're looking up to the Bengals right now. So must-win spot. Love getting the 2.5 points here. Let's grab the Browns.
Yeah, Browns have been pretty darn good as road underdogs under head coach Kevin Stefanski. So I like that play as well. Ryan, tell the people where they can get your picks, where they can find you on a weekly basis.
Yeah, I mean, 2 picks here, but we pick every game against the spread over at the Sports Gambling Podcast, sportsgamblingpodcast.com, or anywhere you get your podcasts.
All right, we're due for a 2-0 week, man. How about it? Let's do it.
Let's get it.
All right, let's get it.
Who is that?
That's our new producer, Peter. But it's P-E-T-A-R.
Is it his first day today?
I call him Peter.
This is the toughest job there ever is because you can see we're actually under control compared to how we would be if we didn't have Peter cracking the whip.
And he hates us, too. He hates everything about Scott and I. He likes McKinzie,
He likes me.
but he hates Scott.
He hates McKinzie. He cuts off their mics a lot of times. You don't even realize it. All right, thanks, as always, to our wise guy, Ryan Kramer. Hopefully, you're all paying attention. Now, we have to get to these final plays of the day. Scott, kick things off.
Okay, so I'm going to take an over-under. It seems kind of a little lame, but I mean, really, we're
nothing wrong with winning money. Why is it lame?
Money.
Okay, and this is a situation where the Chargers' defense is really kind of falling apart. They still have a pass rush, but the rest of their defense has not been strong. The Eagles, which I thought their lines were good, I kind of really feel like I'm kind of echoing the statements that you said during that Texans over-under. I think there's going to be turnovers. I like the over. I suspect that by the start of the fourth quarter, you're looking right at the over.
All right, I like it. Hammer, what about you?
I am going to stay on that same game here, and I'm going to take the Chargers in this game. The Chargers have the better quarterback, and the line is -1. So just go ahead and take the Chargers on the money line if you want. This is kind of a pick'em game, but if all things are equal, give me the better quarterback. I know he's going on the road. It's a cross-country trip. That kind of stuff doesn't matter as much as it used to when you look at the numbers here. Chargers -1 or take them on the money line. That's the pick today.
That's the pick of the day. Fellas, thank you so much. When we come back, our friends over at the Thunderbird are going to teach you how to make a cocktail fit king on the rocks.
Nice.
Up next.
On the Rocks is brought to you by Larceny Bourbon. It's so smooth, it's criminal.
Hello, friends. Brent Holberson with Heaven Hill Brands. Welcome back to another edition of On the Rocks. Today, come to you from the wonderful Fountain Square here at Thunderbird. Tyler, Bernie, gentlemen, we've got some good cocktails coming on today, right?
Absolutely, and Tyler, I believe this was one that you created here at Thunderbird. Well, what do you call this concoction?
The King's Keys, actually.
Oh, nice. King's Keys, and I assume some of the keys on the bottle was an inspiration for that?
Yeah, sometimes you gotta unlock the truth.
There you go. Well, that was part of the brand. You know, John E. Fitzgerald was supposedly a treasury agent who held the keys to the distillery, and that's why there's a keyhole on the front and keys around it. So show us how you make the King's Keys.
Well, this is a stirred cocktail, so get a little ice in there. Start out with 2 ounces of Larceny,
which is a wheated bourbon.
I'm a big fan of wheateds. A little more of a sweeter, funkier profile. Instead of just making Manhattans, it's nice to try something a little different.
Right.
Next, we're going to do some modifiers. You want to accentuate the spirit, but you don't want to distract from anything else. Kind of punch up what's already there. So we're going to do
put spices on the steak.
Yeah, exactly. A little seasoning. We've got half an ounce of a honey syrup I make with pink peppercorns and tarragon. It's a house-made thing. We're going to do 1/4 of an ounce of Lustau Solera Sherry. Half an ounce of Chinar. Liqueur made from artichokes. Got a nice bitter profile. And then we just got 2 different bitters. Angostura makes these really nice cocoa bitters. Do 2 shakes of that. And 2 shakes of Peychaud's. Stir that up. Make sure that gets nice and cold. Dilutes properly. Strain into our cute little Nick and Nora glass here. We had chilled beforehand.
And now the garnish. Everybody always gets excited about garnishes.
Yeah, nice dehydrated orange. We dehydrate these in-house. You know, you want to make a drink look special.
Absolutely.
There we are, the King's Keys. Enjoy.
Thank you, sir. With Larceny Bourbon here at the Thunderbird.
Oh, wow. Johnny Fitzgerald would approve of that for sure. Thanks again for joining us here at the Thunderbird in Fountain Square. Look forward to seeing you again on the next edition of On the Rocks. Cheers.
Cheers to you, Brent.
Wow, how good did that look? Like, if I would have told 15-year-old Scott Long that you would be on television drinking amazing drinks from Larceny, talking about sports betting, I think you would have signed up for that, right?
Especially if you told me McKinzie was part of the show.
Absolutely. All right, let's get to our picks here. These are the picks that we've got locked in today. The first one I'm going to focus on is Kansas City -7. No Aaron Rodgers for the Packers. That means I'm in on the Chiefs at home. The Browns getting 2. I'll scoop up the points of what I think is going to be a close game. Chargers -1 or the money line. I've got the better quarterback here. The Rams. They're going to shred a very bad Titans secondary tonight, and it's a Titans team without Derrick Henry. And we're going to go over 46.5. Houston and Miami. More often than not, when bad teams play, you get scores. So we're going to go over.
Okay, you see, these are the 2 teams playing. That's the team that I'm on. I think the Chiefs will still continue to struggle. I like the Packers in that game. I think they will coalesce together. The Panthers, this is a flat week for the Patriots. It's also going to be a flat week for the Cowboys facing the Broncos. Take the dogs in these games. I like the Raiders. I like what I've seen from the team. I think they're a together team. Everyone that will show up today is together.
Okay.
There's always one guy not.
I don't know about that one.
Okay. And this is a game that I wouldn't even really want to watch. Okay, I like the uniforms. I feel like, I'm one of those. But the uniforms are pretty. They're going to be on the red zone a lot today because they're going to be scoring points. That's where I like that game. So I'm thinking I'm going to go 3-2, 4-1. I'm looking 1-4 at that.
A lot of similarities with these 2 overs.
Yes.
Bad game, expect some turnovers. Let's get some points going. All right, we're going to get McKinzie back in the mix. I think she's back there at the bar right now. She's got her Mick pick, McKinzie's pick, and we'll round out the big show when we come back. This is All Indiana Bets.
All Indiana Bets, presented for the people, powered by Caesars Sportsbook.
All right, you know what time it is. Time for the world famous Mick Pick. I found this, so it's like my magic lucky 8-ball. I'm going in. You guys already know, I'm riding with my guy, Jimmy G. That's right, 49ers, a 3.5-point favorite against Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray, questionable, kind of like the show with an ankle injury. Even if Murray plays, he won't be at 100%, and we know that. So I'm taking Jimmy and the Niners to roll at -3.5.
Niners at home against a beat-up Cardinals team. I like that.
That's right.
Update from Miami, Tua, scratch from the starting lineup. Jacoby Brissett will be starting.
Mr. Pick Six himself, Jacoby Brissett. I still like your over.
Still like the over pick in that one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Good luck, everybody.
Let's do it.
Hope your bets hit. We'll be back next Saturday
at 11.
All Indiana Bets.
7-3.
Good luck, everybody.
Woo!